is infrared sauna safe?
If you are using an infrared sauna, be careful about looking into the light. You just want to make sure you're very cautious and you understand what are the frequencies, what are the wavelengths, is there any sort of electromagnetic frequency exposure that I'm having as a result of this? Ask them, have these bulbs that you use, have they been evaluated for their EMF?
Infrared is helpful. Can we talk about what it does?
So it's like a heat treatment that helps your immune system to function adequately. The body and the cell and the amino acids within the cell, the DNA, begin to function better and they eliminate toxins. They're able to clear debris, and that's from the activation of mitochondria through infrared wavelengths.
The benefits of infrared therapy and some of the possible downsides.
Ooh, yeah, that's a good one. Great start, Nick.
We have a video on the internet, and it's, is infrared sauna safe?
Yes.
And you have some thoughts on it, and it's not like, oh yeah, you should go in the infrared sauna today, it's good for you, but it's based in research. So we're gonna get into that. You're Dr. Ron Dummar, I'm Nick, patient friend here at Community Health and Wellness in Heber City, Utah. But we have top 10 health benefits of infrared therapy. So infrared is helpful. Can we talk about what it does and when you might want to be a little cautious about it?
Sure, for sure. Well, infrared is a wavelength. It's a frequency, and oftentimes it gets thrown in there with electromagnetic frequency, EMFs, that people are really concerned about. And there are, especially certain ones, and we wanted to dive, should we just dive straight in, right?
Let's dive right in.
Electromagnetic frequency. I just said EMF, and so everyone's ears should be going up. Well, wait a minute, can I be getting into an infrared sauna and actually be exposed to magnetic frequencies, electromagnetic ones that I'm wanting to avoid? And the answer is yes. If you have cheaper bulbs are not ideal, or the bulbs aren't designed to reduce the electromagnetic frequency exposure, then yeah, the answer is you can have actually EMF exposure without the intention of having that, right? So you really want to make sure that the bulb that you're using, or the bulb that the place that you visit or frequent, or the one that they're using, has been designed specifically to reduce the secretion or the exposure of EMF to the user. And that's why we use SaunaSpace. I really like SaunaSpace. Their bulbs are fantastic. They've put a lot of research, a lot of study into them. And now back to the frequency and the wavelength of infrared itself. It's, somewhere around 700 micrometers to it's like 1300 or something like that, in that range. And really what we can do, and one of the reasons people are utilizing it, is for detoxification, to improve their skin. They're using it to improve mitochondrial function. And if you can improve mitochondrial function, you improve energy, right? So the ability of your body to produce ATP. If you can produce ATP, you can heal tissue. If you can produce adequate amounts of ATP, you can adequately stay up long through the day, right? You can study, you can focus, you can memorize, you can do all sorts of tasks that you need to do, right? So ATP synthesis is actually, in mitochondrial functions, a really, really big benefit of infrared.
Yeah, we have 10 benefits of infrared, but I know the reason we got some interest on that video we put out was that you were saying not all IR saunas are probably all that beneficial, because if there's a lot of EMF coming up.
They're not all made the same.
Yeah, so how would you know if I'm going to this, because a lot of these sauna cold plunge places are popping up, and some of these saunas are infrared. You're probably like, oh my gosh, I'm getting the infrared.
Yeah.
How do I know if their EMF is coming off of them?
Well, first of all, when you're going to a place, you want to make sure it is infrared sauna and not just dry heat sauna. So if you're going there for infrared, make sure that it's infrared with the owners, right? Or whoever's there, the staff. And then ask them, have these bulbs that you use, have they been evaluated for their EMF? The other way that you could do it is you can actually purchase an EMF exposer, right? A meter, an EMF meter. And you can take that with you into the infrared sauna, and then you can just hold it and look at it and determine, boy, am I getting too many EMFs? That's probably the easiest one to do. It'll take you, you can find that, and we can put a link to one of those as well on in the subject after this, okay?
Yeah, in the description.
Yeah, the description, thank you. So, but yes, we need to be very, very careful about where and how we use the sauna. And one of the things also, if you are using an infrared sauna, be careful about looking into the light. right? So some of them the infrareds are used as like bays or beds, right? So they're infrared beds and you can lay in it. And it's ideal for you to have your eyes closed because you have bulbs all below you, all above you. And if you keep your eyes open, you can actually have some retinal damage, obviously, for looking into the infrared. And you may not notice it at first because it's not necessarily like looking at the sun. If you start to look at the sun, you can feel, hey, I shouldn't be doing that. But looking at infrared, it's harder to do that. So you're still getting the frequency and the wavelength from the infrared while you're looking at the bulb, even though you may not think that it's coming and you may not feel it, right? So be very, very cautious with that. The other thing is heat, the exposure, the time. One of the reasons we use infrared is to increase detoxification. It opens the pores, allows our body to sweat, to eliminate all these different toxins that our body has been building up and is ready to eliminate and get rid of. And so we want to get to that point of sweating, and we want that heat. Now, heat is a really good thing, right? We need to have enough heat over a certain period of time to actually get the physiological benefit that we're looking for. And one of those benefits is your body under infrared exposure over a certain period of time will begin to simulate a fever. So the purpose of simulating a fever is actually unwinds and unravels viruses, viral particles. So viral particle is a series of DNA sequences, amino acid sequences, essentially. And the way that we unravel that is with a period of heat. Your body is intelligent, it's smart. It will begin to, if it believes that you have a viral infection, it will begin to increase the thermal temperature, your heat in your body, called a fever. And the temperature that you get to will basically indicate, okay, how significant is this that we're fighting this off, right? And what's going to happen at some point, we call it breaking the fever, where you'll essentially top out and then you start to recover, right? And sometimes people will climb again. But being in infrared sauna can actually get you to that point before your body even needs to do that. So you could call it like prophylactic fever treatment, right? So it's like a heat treatment that helps your immune system to function adequately.
Because you have the regular saunas that get hotter.
Yeah.
And you sweat, you detoxify.
Yeah, the dry saunas, the heat. Yeah.
Yeah, the traditional, whatever, Swedish. So I guess with deep detoxification through sweating, that's something you're going to get in a sauna and an IR, right?
Yes, you can get it in both of those, right? But that is one of the things that people attempt to do. And absolutely, that's a benefit to both types of saunas. Another thing, though, let's say more specific, and we talked about this already, but more specific to the infrared sauna is the activation of mitochondria. So the production of ATP, the activation of energy production within the cell itself. So the body and the cell and the amino acids within the cell, the DNA, begin to function better. And they eliminate toxins. They're able to clear debris. And that's from the activation of mitochondria through infrared wavelengths.
Wow.
Yeah.
Sounds like a powerful modality.
It is a fantastic modality, yeah. And I don't see why anybody would feel like they shouldn't use it, right? Again, the only reason is you just want to make sure you're very cautious and you understand what are the frequencies, what are the wavelengths? Is there any sort of electromagnetic frequency exposure that I'm having as a result of this?
So talking about a couple more benefits, cardiovascular conditioning without strain.
Yeah, it's like giving yourself a workout, right? It's like taking yourself through a workout, doing infrared. Like an infrared sauna can upregulate the mitochondria, right? It can increase your temperature. It can increase your heart rate, right? And your blood, your pores open and your blood circulates and perfuses into all of the skin, right? So it gets all into the external surfaces of your body. And so by doing this is a similar thing that happens when we run. Our temperature increases, our blood flow and circulation increases, right? And so all of these things, our oxygen supply and delivery to the brain increases. It's like simulating a workout. It's obviously not developing increased muscle, right? You're not building muscle mass by doing this. It's just the idea, the physiological benefit of the improvement of blood flow and circulation.
Also, pain relief, inflammation reduction. Can we talk about that?
Well, for sure. In Chinese medicine, as a Chinese medicine practitioner, I say to people, don't use ice or cold. But if you do use ice or cold, because it can be beneficial,
Don't use ice or cold. Wow.
Yeah, like if you choose to do it, make sure you use heat as well. And the reason for that is ice and cold is going to constrict and slow things. So the reason the body, let's say you have an injury and your body starts to cause swelling in your knee, okay? Causes swelling. Well, the purpose of that swelling is it's delivering all sorts of immune compounds. It's delivering all sorts of tissue repair compounds in that area. Plus, it's trying to stabilize that joint, okay? So you want all of that there. Now, if you take ice and you just go and stop all of that from happening, then all of those compounds that were being sent there or that were en route to be sent there, now what's happening with them is they're slowed. The process of them getting there is slowed, which essentially means that your tissue recovery is slowed or your ability to heal is reduced, okay? So yeah, longer periods of ice and without heat and tissue regeneration and blood flow. You want to encourage blood flow as much as possible because that's where all of your nutrients are coming from. All of your nutrients that are going to initiate tissue regeneration, healing, rebuilding of collagen, that all comes from blood flow.
So when we talk about collagen improvement, like better skin, that's from blood flow?
Yeah, well, so yes, it comes from microcirculation, right? Deep into the capillaries even, right? So you're improving the microcirculation, the flow of the blood into the ligaments, into the tendons, into the muscles. And yes, that collagen, what happens over time is that collagen and our blood flow and circulation it gets less and less and less. It's not as adequate. And so as a result, it's almost like drying up collagen, right? And so it can start to sag or it can even start to, cause wrinkles on the face and you can have all sorts of collagen related issues. But the thing is that if you can increase the blood flow and you can keep the blood flow in there in the microcirculation, then what's going to happen is you'll have tone and lift. Okay, so that's why we do all of these facial. We have an herbal facial that we do here in the office and a holistic esthetician that runs our facials for us. But we use all 100% organic and natural products, and we stimulate the face. We use facial stimulation of acupuncture points, with the specific purpose of increasing microcirculation, which basically lends itself to tone and lift.
Gotcha. And if folks are interested in that, the phone number at Community Health and Wellness in Heber City, Utah is 435-657-3696. Again, that's 435-657-3696. We'll put a description down below if folks are interested in coming into your office or making a telehealth appointment. You're in Heber City, Utah. Any other, we talked about different benefits. Any other benefits that you want to talk about with infrared therapy?
No, I think infrared therapy can also be very beneficial. It can also be very beneficial for mood.
Stress reduction and mood.
Yes. Yeah. So I think we can't discount its impact on our nervous system and on our neurotransmitters. When we have appropriate and adequate exposure to light and frequencies, our gut and our microbiome are going to have a better balance. And if we have a more appropriate balanced microbiome, we're going to produce adequately the amount of neurotransmitters that we need to support our mental health. So yes, infrared can actually be very beneficial for mental health insofar as it influences the bacteria in the gut and the microbiome.
So you're not saying infrared sauna, you're saying infrared here?
Infrared, yes. They're like a bulb even if you're not doing a sauna. Like a lot of people, I've recommended to them getting a light and setting it on a desk. So when they work in the morning or something, they get up, especially during the winter months, and there's a bulb that you can get from Sauna Space as well, and you can just tilt it toward yourself as you're working during the day, right? So you're working during the day and you're getting these infrared frequencies. So it doesn't have to be in the form of a sauna. You can even just have it shining on you during the day.
So mood is important. What about weight management, metabolic support, energy?
Well, if you look at weight management, and the reason I wrote weight management down is because all weight management, I had this discussion with a patient earlier today. And she's like, oh, I'm wanting to get rid of this last little bit. I am losing weight and I can see I'm getting healthier. And we reviewed with her labs and her values. And she's actually making some really good improvements. And she's very, very happy about that. But she would like to have a little bit more of the weight gone. And I said, well, really what we're focusing on, and the weight will go, but what we're focusing on is metabolic health. We want the cell to function as adequately and ideally as possible. When our cell is optimal, then our physiology is ideal, and our metabolism, our ability to burn fat, our ability to be lean and have lean muscles and to work out and to recover from those workouts is way higher. And so our capacity to lose weight over time as we age is dependent on our cellular metabolism. Or said another way, it's dependent on our metabolic health. How healthy is your cell? And if our cells are not healthy, then we have little hope losing weight or being healthy long term.
So IR can help with that?
Infrared helps with that because it helps with the cell, the metabolism of the cell, and it helps the mitochondria itself, again, going back to the mitochondria and the cell function. Mitochondria influences and provides the energy for that cell to perform the metabolism that is necessary for life.
And if I go to sauna space and I get one of these bulbs, how much IR infrared exposure should I give myself?
So I would keep it limited. I would do sessions of probably 15 to 20 minutes. Like if you're going to do in a sauna type of setting, probably 15 to 20 minutes. And I would judge it also by your temperature and your feel. If you're like, wow, after 10 minutes, you're like, I got to get out of here, then yeah, do. I am a big fan also of contrast therapy. I like to do the cold plunge and then the infrared, and then the cold plunge and then the infrared. And I always say, just like we talked about with Chinese medicine, how you want blood flow, you want to encourage circulation as much as possible. I always finish with heat. Always finish by warming your body back up, bringing it back up to temperature. I know that there is a discussion out there as to whether you should do a cold plunge and then allow your body to recover on its own. That is okay to do on occasion, but if you do that repeatedly, you will get sick. You will develop some sort of metabolic dysfunction. And the problem is, it puts a lot of stress and a lot of challenge on the body. So you want to make sure, let's put it this way, you really prepare yourself well for doing that, or you just support your body by actually heating yourself back up to temperature and not making your body rely completely on itself.
You're not saying don't cold plunge. You're saying finish with sauna after cold, or finish with a hot shower after cold plunge.
I'm saying the way that you heat yourself back up matters, right? So some people will just get out of the cold plunge and stand there and try to wait until their body gets back up to temperature. And that can take a while. It could take a long time. And especially if you're already under some stress and maybe your body's fighting something off, maybe you have an autoimmune condition and you already have an upregulated immune system. So it's kind of suppressed as it is already. You're already under stress, and now you're going to put it under greater stress and force your body to try to get back up to temperature. Are you going to crash, is my question, or are you actually going to get there? That's up to you.
I've talked to a lot of people about cold plunging, and they've never heard about finishing on heat. And I'm like, well, Dr. Ron Dummar, he talks about finishing with heat, doing contrast therapy and finishing with heat. And no one's doing that on the internet right now. No one's talking about it. They're doing contrast, but everyone says finish on cold. There's a local place that I go, and their little sign says, shows you they recommend how to do it. And they're trying to give you a good guidance and keep you safe. But it's like, we recommend finishing on cold. And all the people I talk to, they like to finish on cold. You get that adrenaline, you get that feeling, that dopamine, whatever. And I'm like, well, I kind of like to finish on heat. I'm a baby. I'd like to, I have to make all these excuses, but I'm like, no one says that you should finish on heat. So I don't quite know how to deliver it to people.
Well, I mean, if you think about it, the winter time, the cold is constricted. And it's okay if you're looking at it saying, okay, well, the majority of the people in the United States have metabolic dysfunction, they have inflammation, they have autoimmune diseases and conditions. And well, we know RFK Jr., he said that, our autoimmune conditions and our degenerative disorders are going through the roof. Well, that's all true. We're an inflamed nation. And if you're one of those people who walks around inflamed all the time and you get into a cold plunge, it's going to feel good. It's going to feel good because you're constricting it and you're clearing the inflammation from all of your joints and all your body temporarily. But if you do the contrast, hot, cold, hot, cold, hot, cold, and you're improving circulation and blood flow, you're actually promoting healing long term. So we're not just saying get rid of the inflammation temporarily. I'm not just take my Advil every night. That's not what I'm into. I'm into actually long-term healing. And so when we look at long-term healing, it requires blood flow. If you don't have blood flow, you do not heal. And so cold restricts blood flow. So it's going to slow healing. Yes, it will decrease the amount of inflammation in your joint currently, but the real question you should be asking is, why do I have so much inflammation in my joints? And that goes to a deeper issue. And what that means is you should be calling us at Community Health and Wellness and asking, hey, I think I might have some metabolic dysfunction. Can I get my labs done? And we say, great. And then we're on to a entirely different discussion. But that's how you should do it, is get in the cold plunge, get in the heat. Get in the cold plunge, finish with heat. Let your body get back up to temperature, improve microcirculation and blood flow, and that you should be feeding your body. You feed your body so well that when you get out of that infrared sauna and you've finished with heat and every little cell of your body, every little blood cell is carrying all the nutrients that you've been eating from your diet, that you've optimized your diet to be carried, those nutrients, those vitamins, those minerals in your diet, to be carried in your blood to joints, to tendons, to ligaments to support their development. The problem is we eat crap in this country. Yeah. We eat like garbage. And the food that we eat and we consume, we put into our bodies, and then what are we delivering to our joints? What are we delivering to our ligaments? What are we delivering to our tendons? It's absolute garbage. And if we change the source, if we change the metabolic, the dietary source, then we would be able to finish with heat and have long-term healing, not just short-term relief from cold restriction of inflammation.
Before we go, what's the amount of time you'd finish on heat if you're doing a sauna after a cold plunge?
Honestly, even just 5 minutes.
Just heating back up. You're not doing another 20, right?
No. Nope.
Oh, man. What a great little snippet on cold versus hot there at the end.
No, that was kind of fun, huh?
Chop that up and just put that as a separate clip. Hey, if you found value in this video, you can subscribe for free on YouTube. It really helps us out. Like the video, hype it if you could. Subscribe, leave a 5-star review.
It requires a little bit of thumb action, right?
Which might
finger. They
lead to some inflammation.
Yeah.
So that's why you have your infrared bulb to kind of...
absolutely. Put the infrared bulb there, put your phone out, and then subscribe.
Perfect. I love it. Be Well Now podcast. We've been doing this for years. We care about you. If you have any video ideas or questions, leave them for us in the question area.
Comments?
In the comment section, yes.
Yep.
Be well now, everybody.
Be well now. Namaste.
Namaste.